This podcast contains adult language, descriptions of violence, sexual references, and other possibly offensive themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Previously on Back to the Story.
It's murky and hard to see, but with your octopus form you can see through it just a bit. As you travel down, it's a similar tube, and then it stops. You can see it turns to the side and diagonals semi-northeast. You've been swimming for maybe 5 minutes. You see a surface swimming up to it, coming to the top.
Why don't we check along the coast and see if we can find the other entrance before we go into this one?
But you do see vaguely shapes on the other side, silhouettes from the light that you can just barely make out. Looks like Vesper is back. Calvin? Is Calvin here?
What up, homie?
Hey. And with that, Ellory, you are up, as Ezekiel is just coming to the edge and is beginning to pull him back, but you get the first instinct. What do you do?
Okay, so because it does not say that I need to see the point where I'm casting it, I am going to send a little ember forward and cast it so that the edge of it is right where that doorway is.
Okay, so the rest of it being forward, I'm assuming?
Yeah, the rest of it being in the next chamber.
Okay, and it's a 20-foot radius?
Yes.
So those two will have to make saves. 17.
That makes it.
And a 6.
That does not make it. So 29 for the one that failed to save, and half that for the other.
My goodness. That's fine. So the little ember flies forward, burning a small hole through the mast of the sail that's covering up the next room before it lands, and his flames erupt. You hear screams, and you hear in fear and anger. And 29, as the flames halfway burn up and then halfway blow away what remains of the mast, with most of it on fire, revealing the other room. You see, beyond a greater room, the largest thing in there you see is hulked up, its head rubbing up against the 10, 11 foot ceilings. You see something about ball size, this hulking mass of stitched together muscle. You can see it's chained on both arms to columns behind it. As the flames erupt in front of it. You see on each corner just around, holding small rusted blades, you see goblin-sized creatures, but you see no skin. You see just bones and glowing yellow eyes. These undead goblins, one of which is literally on fire and is going to barely shambling. A few of its ribs have fallen off. Ellory, do you want to stay where you are?
I'm just going to move into the corner to make room for other people.
Okay. And that will bring us up to Calvin.
Okay. I find myself in it's half movement through
allies.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm going to hang out here. Okay, let me ask you this. Can I hold action to dash at a certain trigger? Like once he moves, I can move?
Yeah, I'll say you can. Sure.
Cool.
Okay.
And then once there's a clear path, I will dash. That's my held action. I'm going to use my channel divinity to let's do 2d8. That sounds good.
Okay.
I'm going to take 2d8 damage.
As you do.
As you know, I rolled a 1 and a 6.
Okay.
So, not too bad. But I have this, so Calvin will grip his holy symbol to the point of bleeding. As the blood drips to the floor, he will hold the blood and the trickling hand in front of his face and mutter, like almost to his bleeding wound, words of his oath. As almost out of nowhere, a light will sort of kind of like a spotlight sort of casts on him, but it's kind of pale because we're not outside.
Okay. This light shimmering around you. as you are just kind of right behind ball, like a running back waiting for an opening in the offensive lineman. That will bring us up to, that was a football reference, this guy way back here. You see a third one that you didn't initially see, a small undead-looking goblin that shooting an arrow at Ezekiel, and that is a 17 to hit.
Miss.
The arrow, and he just dodged the side as it scrapes off of your armor. Let's see, how many attacks do these guys get? Is it just one? He has 2. So another arrow comes by towards Ezekiel again, and that is a 16 less. So 2 arrows quickly towards you, and you move to the side as they parry off of your armor. That will bring us up to this guy. This shambling, still on fire, undead goblin is going to run up to you and smile. And this wicked grin comes across, a smile full of needle-like teeth. Go ahead and make a charisma save for me, Ezekiel.
12?
Okay. You are terrified of this weird little creature on fire, almost dead, but frightened all the same. These are not your bog standard goblins. These are some sort of nightmarish abomination of what a goblin is. And so I will put that little scroll and crossbones on your profile. And I'll bring us up to this. Oh, that's so mean, but here it comes anyway. Okay. So Ezekiel, you see just to the north of this massive corpse creature, a shimmer, as you see a figure appear. You see energy forming in her hand as she wraps it around and then flings it towards you. A beam of greenish black energy slams towards you. Let's see if she hits. That is a 13 to hit.
No.
This ray cascades by you, slamming into the wall, where it leaves this runic mark on the wall that glows there for a minute before the creature disappears once more. And that will bring us up to Amsen. The creature was deep blue-violet skin, hooked nose, 2 horns coming out, black hair, jet black, looks very similar to the dead one you saw above.
Cool. So, Amsen's going to use a new spell, and he's going to start singing as a beacon of hope for his allies, as I use Beacon of Hope.
Awesome.
And Amsen's going to sing out, "Do you hear the bard he sings, singing the songs of wit and might? It is the music of the heroes that will make you want to fight. When the bravery of your heart echoes the bravery of the soul, there is naught to worry when we're on the roll."
And hearing this song, you feel a beacon of hope and vitality. And you guys have advantage on whiz saves and death saves, and you regain max healing. Great. And Amsen, are you staying back there?
I'm just gonna stay back there, and
okay.
That'll be my turn.
That brings us to Ezekiel.
Okay. You said the big guy had shackles on?
He has chains leading from his hands further back to columns behind you. You see the room beyond is maybe 70 by 70 feet. It's large. The roof is maybe 12 feet tall. You see a few columns that you can't see the entirety of the room. And in the center, you see some sort of circle with what looks like ash or dirt in the center. And there's also, you now realize what that loud noise was, a very large rock that lies just at the corner, around the corner. But yes, it has massive iron chains on it.
Are they shackled to him, or is he holding the chains?
Shackled.
All right. I can't move any closer to him, so I'm just going to look at him and point and cast a 3rd level heat metal on the shackles.
Okay.
So I've got that here. So because it's 3rd level, he's going to take 3d8 fire damage. He has to drop it, and if he can't, he has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
So 18 fire damage.
As you see the iron shackles around his wrist just heat up and become reddish and then molten yellow and nearly white as it burns into his flesh. He begins scratching at his wrist, trying to get them off. You see the flames burn into his flesh. This is a massive and very hardy creature, but it does burn. Also, you said you can't get closer to him?
I'm feared, so I can't move forward.
You're not actually frightened.
I'm not actually frightened?
You're not frightened. There is a strange feeling as you look out of the corner of your eye to do this at each of these goblins, but you are not frightened. You feel fear, but you're not technically frightened.
Oh, okay, so I can move towards it.
You can.
Okay. Oh, you're right there. I will take the opportunity attack from that little one, and then...
So that is a 21 to hit?
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. So it deals 6 slashing damage.
Okay.
You then take 5 psychic damage as your fear digs in as this creature strikes into you, as you feel like you're looking at the wrong target. That smile is buried into the back of your mind.
All right, then I'll just dip behind this wall. I don't know if that other one gets an opportunity attack as I do, but...
It tries to hit at the wall, but it doesn't really get a good shot at you. I'll say it has disadvantage. No, it just hits the wall.
All right, then I'll wait there just out of people's way.
Okay, Vesper, you're up.
Okay, cool. I'm going to scoot into the room here, and seeing this guy, I'm going to cast Sacred Flame. So I must succeed on a dex save, which is probably really good for this stupid thing.
21.
Yeah, fuck me.
It slides to the side as it comes down.
Okay. Fun times. These caskets, are they closed?
2 of them are. The ones without the cracks are. So there's 4 in there. 2 of them are currently cracked up and the other 2 are closed.
I'm going to hop up onto this one then.
Okay. Yeah, it's about 3.5, 4 feet up. 3. All right, you're standing on top of it. I'll bring this up to this guy. He's going to move around and is going to try to strike at Ezekiel. That's a 24 to hit.
Yep.
You take 6 slashing and 3 psychic damage as this one turns on. They have 2 attacks. I forgot on the other guy. Oh no, that's attacks of opportunity. The second strike is a 19.
Miss.
Okay, so strikes, slams off of your armor. And that will bring us up to Ball.
Alright, Ball will run up. Get here. I can't see that well, so Ball is going to use his charge of his flaming mantle. Mantle of Flames.
What's the radius on the fire?
It is bright light in a 30-foot radius, dim light for an additional 30.
Okay. Got it. So,
and then, now that I can see everything, this guy's kind of in my way, so I'm just going to swing at him with the Phoenix Blade.
Go for it.
8.
This creature is so small, and it's dancing around your shins. You come down, and it's just so close. It's like hitting an ant beneath your feet.
All right. Well, not much I can do. I can't. So, sorry, can I step on these things that are to the sides?
You can. They're about 3 foot high. 3.5 foot high or so. These stone caskets.
Okay. I think seeing my party behind me, I'm going to try to kind of angle myself so I'm stepped on this, which I think I may take an attack opportunity here for moving.
Okay. It tries to, but doesn't have a reaction, so it's not able to.
That'll be the end of my turn.
You can, yeah. So waiting for that opening, Calvin charges through. All right. And that'll bring us up to Melly. Doesn't have a great shot. She's going to move down. Ellory, you'll be on deck in just a minute. She's going to get right there and is going to hold Frost in her hands, ready to release it. That will bring us to this guy. The massive creature, stitches running all over its body as if it had been put together through some foul ritualistic surgery, is just is pulling its arms, trying to rip out the chains from the columns. It eventually, and then the second one you don't hear snap off, you hear as it's suddenly loose, as if he has been released. And he's going to try to reach over his goblin friend and grab you, Calvin. Disadvantage because of the flames?
Yes.
Okay.
ability checks.
It's a natural 20 and a 10, which is going to, not with Calvin's AC, it's not going to matter, but that is a 19.
Oh, sorry. Is this a contested roll, or is this a...
No, this is an attack roll, basically.
Oh, then yeah. Sorry, Charlie.
Okay. So he runs up, reaches over, tries to grab you. He swipes his hand around you. You duck under it quickly as he tries for a second attack, again at disadvantage. And that is a less. So he tries twice to grab at you, and you're just ducking under these massive, stitched together hands. And that will bring us up to this creature, who's going to continue what they're doing. And that will bring us back up to Ellory.
So I don't think I can see the goblin that's in front of Calvin right now, but I can see, at least not to aim at it. So I'm going to cast Scorching Ray, one ray going towards the goblin that's right up next to Ball, and 2 rays going towards the big guy.
Okay.
So, does a 12 hit the little one?
The little one, no.
No, okay.
Curving right around Ball, it slams into the wall behind it.
Then 2 towards the big guy. Oh, they're the same 22 for both.
Towards the big guy, yeah, definitely is. He's a big wall of flesh. It's very easy to hit.
So that is 13 points of fire damage to him.
Okay. Flames burn into the body that is already beginning to burn at the wrist from the chains. You want to stay there, Ellory?
Yeah, I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay, that brings us up to Calvin.
Okay, well, Calvin is going to 5-foot shift up and then murder the red one.
Okay. Shifting up between 2 of these undead goblins, one on fire about to collapse and the other one standing between. The spear strikes forth. You there, Michael?
So, yeah, sorry, I'm trying to figure out what all I add to this again. 7 plus that. Okay. That's a 15.
That will just hit.
Okay. You want me to roll both of them?
Just roll the first one.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on how good your chunk is.
I'll dump a level 1 smite into it because I don't trust it to die.
Okay. Which is going to be 3d8, right? Or 4d8 because it's undead. Okay.
Oh, okay. I forgot the undead bit, but yes.
Yeah, the 3.
3d8.
Okay. So let's say the first one was a 3, so 3 plus 4, 7 piercing, and then 13 radiant.
Okay. You notice as the spear first drives through, it clatters against some of the bones. You notice that slashing or piercing is not going to be super effective, but as you drive through, the radiant sunlight follows through the drive of your spear, igniting in radiance as the bone scatters around. And that one is dead as the bones clatter to the feet of this massive corpse monster. So that's your first strike. There's one more nearly dead behind you and another one with a bow far behind.
Okay, I can't move. I've already did my 5-foot shift, so I'm going to hit the guy behind me then.
Okay.
And roll again. That's a dirty 20.
That is. And
I'm going to do it. This one's damaged already?
This one's almost fallen apart.
Okay.
You don't even need to roll.
Okay.
Your modifiers alone are enough to just hit it with the back of the spear as it shatters at Ball's feet. So Calvin, quickly taking out 2 of these undead goblins will bring us to this one, who's still alive and is going to now shoot you, Calvin. You see a goblin in the distance behind the shoulder of the corpse monster. Draw the bow, releasing for 23 and 8.
Jesus. Well, the 23 hits.
Dealing 8 piercing damage. The other arrow just hits into the back of this corpse monster. He doesn't seem to even feel it. At the end of that creature's turn, the corpse monster is going to step up and is going to take the chains in its hands and swing it around, slamming into the walls and in creatures in front of it. I need Calvin, Ezekiel, and Ball to make dexterity saving throws.
Well, add 3 to that, please.
Oh, that's a 5 for Ball.
No, Ball got a 2. Ezekiel got a 5.
Oh no, but it's you add 3 to it, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah. So 5 and 8.
8! Yay!
Okay, so
I got a 12.
all 3 of you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as these heavy iron chains slam into you.
Fuck, heat metal's gone.
Okay. Yeah, the singeing, glowing white of the iron begins to fade, and that will bring us up to that creature, which is going to do something. They're going to wait. So that's going to bring us up to Amsen.
Okay.
So you see the front liners just get slammed by this huge metal chain.
Gosh, I don't know. He's in the way. All I see is him. Okay, well, I'm going to cast Firebolt at the big undead death stitchy creature.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 9 to hit.
Okay. Trying to avoid both Ezekiel and Calvin, you hit into the ceiling just a little too high. The flames ignite its dead eyes.
I'm sorry, because Calvin is next to me, I did make that Constitution saving throw, so heat metal is active.
Okay. So the burning chains continue to singe into its flesh. Amsen, anything else for you?
I'm going to inspire... Sure. I'm going to inspire Calvin. And I'm going to sing... Let's go start a fight. Let's go stop the blight. Let's go start a fight and get things bloody. Strike with the tip of spear. Go where my song you'll hear. Oh, let's go start a fight. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. So that will bring us up to Ezekiel as the song continues behind you.
Alright, so bonus action, I'll do the heat metal damage again.
Okay.
So that is another, not as good, 9 fire.
Okay. So it continues to burn into his flesh.
And I can't shift there because there's a tombstone in the way. So for my action, I don't have Shillelagh up, so I will do a slightly ineffectual Thorn Whip.
Okay.
I don't know why I didn't plug this right. It's the same roll, so 22.
Yeah, that absolutely is.
8 piercing.
Okay. So as this thorn wraps around him, digging into the skin, tries to pull, nowhere for it to go.
That's my
you
turn.
do pull it and it hits its head on the top of the ceiling. That will bring us up to Vesper.
Okay. I'm gonna hop off this thing.
Actually, I lied.
Oh no.
At the end of its turn, it's going to retaliate against Ezekiel and try to slam into him. Disadvantage because of the burning thing. That is a 14 to hit.
Miss.
He reaches towards you and tries to slam into you, duck just under it, as you hear a crack in the wall beside you. It'll bring us up to Vesper.
Okay. I'm gonna go, oh shit, I'm gonna go 5, 10, and as I'm running, I'm gonna pause and cast a 2nd level guiding bolt at the big guy.
Okay.
And hope to God that this hits. Oh, don't fucking up. That's a 20.
Yeah,
20?
absolutely hits.
Thank God, so that's 5d6. Okay, good rolls. Good rolls. That's 18 radiant damage.
Okay. As this bolt slams into it, glowing radiant, smoke almost coming off of it for the next while.
I'm gonna go 20, and I'm gonna crouch down and use my bonus action to hide behind this.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
That's only a 13.
Okay. You get behind it as best you can. It's not quite big enough for your tall, lanky height. That'll bring us up to Ball.
All right. I'm kind of stuck here, so I will step forward to here, and I guess I'm going to hold my action until something threatening steps into range of my sword.
Okay, so you pull up ready to strike. as soon as you can. That'll bring us up to Melly, who is having no strike available. She's going to climb up here to see if that might help as she continues to hold the ice. And that will bring us up to it. The creature is going to reach down and try to grab at Calvin. Disadvantage still. That is a 22 to hit.
Hey, look at that.
Okay, so that actually hits. Calvin's impossible to hit. That is 16 bludgeoning damage as it grabs you, lifts you into the other room, and slams you onto the ground before releasing you. So you are prone, face down there, as he's then going to reach up his leg and try to stomp onto you. It's going to be a straight roll because of the chains burning and you on the prone. That will be a 23 to hit.
All right, everybody.
10 bludgeoning as it slams onto your back. You can feel the your armor bending in as it puts its weight upon you.
Real quick, our new hit points are taking effect.
Yeah, so anything you would have gained on your level up, you get that max. And that's its turn. This other person continues to do what it does. Ellory.
So I am going to send a firebolt at this big guy up here.
Okay. You'll have to move somewhere else, I think, to get a good sight on it. If you move up a little bit, you should be able to see it.
Okay, so I will do that. Moving up onto the casket?
Yeah, if you just move up to here, you should be able to see it. It's just with the ceiling and ball.
Right.
But with your spell sniper, if you just go one more up, you should be able to see it, no problem. With you for spell sniper, and you have advantage on the roll because it's glowing radiant light.
Nice. Okay, that's 18 to hit.
Definitely hits, 100%. The AC is 9. You're finding it incredibly easy to hit this creature.
And that is 11 points of fire damage.
Okay. The firebolt slams into it, bursting on its shoulder, beginning to singe into the flesh. This creature is incredibly hardy. You're beginning to wear it down. Anything else for you?
I think that'll be it for now.
Okay. That will bring us up to Calvin.
Well,
you're currently face down on the ground.
Will use his movement to stand up, and in his bloodied, broken state, he will take a Saiyan fighting, charging stance, and just kind of scream a roar, a building roar, and his fire will surround, a radiant fire will surround him, and his eyes will go white, and he will attack thrice.
Okay. So attacking 3 times with the speed of light. Something you have not seen, the rest of you have not seen in Calvin yet, as he stands in glorious radiance. Go ahead and roll those hits.
First is a 24.
Absolutely hits.
Next is a 16.
Also hits.
And then a 28.
Yeah. So
I'm going to dump a lot of smite into this.
Sure.
So we'll start off with a level 2.
Okay.
So is this undead?
This creature is not.
It's not undead. So okay, cool. So just
which is strange because it's made of corpses, but it seems to be made.
So that is 3. Okay, so I can do math. That's 15 radiant and 9 piercing.
Okay.
On the first, and then we'll say 7 piercing, 10 piercing. Excuse me. No, that's wrong. 7 piercing plus 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 radiant.
So second strike connects, burning into its back.
And then 5 piercing, and that's 23 radiant.
23 radiant?
Yes. I rolled 8, a 7, a 5, plus 3.
Sure. How do you want to do this?
And what looks like totally raged Vegeta, just slamming spear, it's turned into Chun-Li's leg, and just stabs him repeatedly with radiant blows, and then it's just there's a loud and then there's like a silence, and he kind of pulls back slowly, and kind of you hear the shifting of his armor as he stands up straight, and then the beast just kind of has all these puncture marks all over him that are smoking from where they've been thrust upon him, and he just kind of stands there, and with like a croaking moan, he falls back.
Okay. So you see as Calvin lays these strikes into the creature, its wounds, as the creature eventually falls, radiate light of radiant energy from these wounds as Calvin stands above it, armor clanking in exhaustion from this, as the big creature falling on its back, its massive arms falling to each side as it lays still. You see the goblin nearby that was notching another arrow, just like lowers it, jaw agape, shocked. And then it shoots at you. That is a 15 to hit you, Calvin.
No. Thank God.
And a 13 to hit you. Okay. At which point, you see a shimmer. As you see this female witch appear once more, hunched over, as you see energy curling at her hands.
If she's casting a spell and I can see her, I'm going to use counterspell.
I haven't put her on the map. She's by this goblin, so she's back here. What's the range on counterspell?
It is
60 feet.
60 feet.
Okay, so she's like 75 feet.
Damn it.
Maybe 80. But she is casting a spell. So you see almost this energy, this sand beginning to drop from her top fingers into the palm of her other hand. We will find out what this does. Calvin, do you have 29 hit points or less?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Calvin, standing up, looking at the work he's done, falls asleep, falling on his side, his back scraping and sliding down the rock behind him, falling asleep as the creature disappears once more. That will bring us up to Amsen.
Cool. I'm going to run up. I can kind of see Calvin around the corner. As a bonus action, I'm going to second level healing word, which is 11 points of healing, because Beacon of Hope.
Okay.
And then my action, this will kind of overlap with Beacon of Hope, but I'm going to use the counter charm ability so that until the end of my next round, everyone within 30 feet of me has advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
Okay. So healing ball. I'm using this counter charm. Are you kind of humming these notes to disrupt any sort of mind influences?
Yep.
Okay. So doing so, if there's nothing else, that will bring us to Ezekiel. You're still kind of tucked in this corner as this massive creature falls.
Okay. I will move 1, 2...
And I'll say it's just difficult terrain to walk over the creature.
Yeah. Actually, I'll go 2, 3, 4, 5. I will shake Calvin awake with my action. And then bonus, I will cast a healing word on myself at second level, because that's all I have left.
Okay, so moving into the room, you see a large room, a few columns holding up the ceiling in the distance, and some sort of pit of ash in the center. Now, as you move and shake Calvin awake, as Calvin, you come to seeing Ezekiel over himself, just as he begins to heal some of his wounds. And that will bring us to Vesper.
How do you guys look, both of you?
A little bit better, but still hurting.
Calvin?
Oh, I am, I'm still radiantly glowing. We'll say that.
It's not what I asked, but okay. I'm gonna try and... okay. 10, 20, 25. I will use my bonus action to cast Healing Word at first level on Calvin, so that's 10 since we're doing max damage. And then I'm going to use my action to use my Healer's Kit on Ezekiel, which I think I already did the math for is 17 since we're doing max.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And I will hang out there and just lock eyes with that last goblin, like... staring at them.
You see it kind of almost like chuckle awkwardly and nervously. That will bring us up to Ball, as you have just felt healing upon you.
Alright, well, I guess I'll have to use my action here to dash as well. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's my full move. And my action as well, so I'll end my turn there.
Okay. That will bring us up to Melly, who she might actually be able to get a shot. Yeah, and she's going to try to hit. And Melly launches a shard of ice towards the goblin that slams into it, knocking it against the wall, but still standing. That will bring us up to this creature that continues what they're doing. And that will bring us up to Ellory.
So when this other witch appeared, could I see that from where I am?
Yeah, because the creature fell, so you could see that.
And can I still see that point where she was?
You could guess where it is. Yeah.
So I'm going to try and send a firebolt there.
Okay. So she was about here. Is that where you want to center it? Because that'll hit the ball.
No,
you can avoid the ball pretty easily if you shift it just up a little, and you still hit that point.
Oh, I said, yeah, I'll do it that way.
Okay, so you just shift it up. It'll get these dex saves. So a 9 and 25.
Yeah, that one saves.
Okay. So the first one takes damage. The goblin.
So that is 21 for the one that didn't make the save and half that for the one that did.
Okay. The goblin burst into flames and its bones are scattered all over the ground. And are you staying there?
Yeah.
Okay. That brings us up to Calvin. You are awake, conscious, on the ground. Ezekiel hovering over you.
Is it still half movement to stand?
Yeah.
Okay. And I will do so. And yawning, Calvin will stand up and kind of shift towards Paul. Yes. And yeah, I guess I'll use my action to dash because I have nothing better to do in this moment. Cool. I'm here.
Okay. And that goblin is dead. That is also dead. Let's see what they're going to do. So, you see the creature reappear just beyond this corner here. And she conjures something in her hands that she's pulling. And I need Calvin to make a wisdom saving throw.
You have advantage on that because of Beacon of Hope.
Okay, well that is 15 plus 7 is 21.
Okay. You see an image, a portal conjuring in front of you, at your feet. You see claw reaching out, beginning to pull itself before it releases and the portal disperses. And that will bring us up to Amsen.
Sweet. It's half movement to move through allies.
Correct.
And over this weird Stitch creature.
Yeah, and it's difficult terrain over the Stitch creature as well.
Okay, so with 30 I can move past Melly and then onto the Stitch creature, just barely into this new room where Calvin and Ball are.
Okay.
And I can't see anything. So I'm going to prepare a firebolt for when I see anything.
Any sort of threat. Okay. Yeah. So that brings us up to Ezekiel.
Okay. I'm going to move and get there. I can not really see behind that pillar, and it is, I think, too far away for me to do anything. So I will spend my action down south here. Is this another curtain?
You see what looks like a doorway, this time of sandstone.
Well, let's see. I will use my action to cast one more buff and bless myself, Calvin, Ball, and Amsen.
Okay.
My last second level spell slot.
Okay. So that will bring us up to...
and bonus action, I'm going to go Direwolf.
Oh, all right. So you do so, and that will bring us up to Vesper. As a blessing occurs, and then a direwolf forms in the room.
It's harder, but okay. I will go
It's
10,
difficult terrain over the stitch
20,
monster.
yeah, 25, 30. I'm going to use my bonus action to dash. 50. Can I skirt between Calvin and this thing? 55, 60.
Yeah, that thing's on the ground. It's only raised like 5 inches maybe, and then there's a pit of ash. So it's no problem to walk on.
And I can just barely see the thing behind the thing, but I can see it, so I'm going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Which is a dexterity save.
That is a 19.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So the flames roar down in a column, and it just turns to the side, hiding behind the column of sandstone.
Cool.
That will bring us up to Ball. Up to you.
I will use my action to dash, which gets me with my full movement speed right there, and that's all I can do. So that will also be the end of my turn.
Okay. So she's seeing you. Okay. So she is going to look up at you, and you see the purple and red lightning, similar to the witch lights you saw before and that you followed here, forming in her hands as she snaps and releases it towards you, Ball. Make a dexterity saving throw. The lightning courses into Ball and then leaps to Vesper and then to Calvin. I need all three of y'all to make dexterity saving throws.
And do we still get that +3 from Calvin, or am I too far?
You have to be 10 feet.
Okay, so Vesper and Calvin can get it.
But I do get...
dirty 20.
Does Bless apply to...
Yes, Bless applies to saving throws, so you do get a d4.
Dex save. So it's a 17 for Ball.
Okay, let's see. So you would have failed, but with the Bless you succeed. So you take 26 points of lightning damage. Vesper, you take 26 points of lightning damage. And then Calvin?
I got a 13.
You take 52 points of lightning damage.
Oh, I didn't use an inspiration.
Use it. Now's the time, as you see almost in slow motion.
What is it, a D8?
This red lightning.
That's a 15.
Rushes from Ball into Vesper and then towards you, and everything goes red as you take 52 points of lightning damage.
That's right. That's what I wanted to take. So, hold on a sec. That doesn't kill me outright, I don't think.
It would have to reduce you to 0 and then the leftover damage do all of your health, which I think you have far too much.
I'm at... Yeah.
Okay. So that will bring us up to Melly. There she is. So Melly is going to rush into the room. As Calvin falls unconscious, she's going to rush up to him, conjuring magic, seeing the creature, and getting close to it. And that will bring us up to this creature that continues to do what it was doing, and then to Ellory.
Okay, so I'm realizing that I probably should have run forward on my last turn instead of staying where I was, but I'm going to go ahead and run up to the doorway first, and then use my action to dash. I can see that there's something there behind the pillar. I'm not sure if I can see it well enough to try and hit it.
It has greater than 75% cover. You'd have to get a better angle on it.
Okay. So I guess that's all I can do for this turn.
Okay, so you rush into the room trying to see what's going on. Calvin, that comes to you. You're currently unconscious on your back. I believe make a death saving throw.
You have advantage on death saving throws because Beacon of Hope.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. The lightning wounds searing into you, but you maintain life for the time being. I bring this up to it. Ball, you see the creature begin to fade. You see its image becomes translucent as it takes a step back and turns and begins to walk away from the column. You see, go ahead.
Am I able to swing at it as it moves away from me? Or?
Yeah, you swing, goes right through it as you swing around and slams into the column at the other side of your swing. Its visage is fading more and more as it takes the next couple steps, eventually fading entirely. And that will bring us up to Amsen.
Okay. Another second level healing word for 11 on Calvin.
Thank you.
And we'll run up next to Melly and just keep a firebolt conjured again.
Okay. That will bring us up to Ezekiel.
Okay. I have... Come on, give me a ruler. I'm going to get right up to the door with my action And I'm going to guess this is something that needs opposable thumbs.
So rushing up to it, you see no handle. You don't see any sort of door entrance. It looks like this has been a sealed gateway, something that you don't open.
All right, then if I have to use my action, I will quick scan around the room, any kind of mechanism.
Quick scan, give me a investigation. Quick scan, if you don't want to use your action, you don't see anything. You just see the columns, the pit of ash, the rock on the other side.
My action to do investigation, that's going to be shit.
Okay, go for it.
5.
Sniffing, looking around in your direwolf form, you don't see anything. It looks like this doesn't have a mechanism at all. It's just sealed off, as far as you can tell.
I will scratch at it like a sad puppy and end my turn.
Okay, Vesper.
Okay, I'm going to kneel down. I'm using my healer's kit on Calvin. So with max healing, that's 17 hit points back.
Okay, patching the wounds. Yeah, he's conscious and starting to feel better as you staunch the bleeding in the most vital areas.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'll use my bonus action to dash up to Ezekiel and see what he's looking at.
Okay. You go up and you see again, some sort of gateway. Looks like it's been completely sealed off. Intentionally, no doorway as far as you can tell.
Can I use that momentum of my movement to kind of shove against it and try and see
you
if it does something?
Shoulder check it. It doesn't move.
Okay. I think that's all I can do for now.
Okay. And for the next couple seconds, nothing jumps out at you. Nothing seems to immediately change in the room. Are you guys doing anything quickly?
There's some sort of doorway here. Can anyone find anything that might open it?
I can go over there and try to investigate the situation to try to find some sort of
investigating.
Ball will cast Divine Sense and just try to scour the room. Since everyone's on the south side, he'll kind of go. Sorry, I just want to clarify this thing to the. What is it?
It looks similar to what's on the south end. I'll give you a basic. You'll check around the room. You see this fairly large room with 4 columns. Sort of centered in the middle of these 4 columns, you see a fairly large 15, 20-foot circle with a pit of ash in the center. You see on the south side, looks like some sort of gateway, but it's been completely sealed off. No door handles, no hinges, nothing like that. And on the north end, you see a very similar mirror of that. You also see at the top left corner towards the entrance, you see a massive rock that's almost shaped like a wheel, but very roughly cut. You can see scrape marks along the floor by that massive rock. There's a few torches that hang on the walls nearby.
Can we move that rock?
You can try to. So I have Amsen investigating the south. Calvin is moving towards the rock. Ball
moving towards the north, and probably going to end up helping Calvin out here. And I'm going to do the Divine Sense to see if anything kind of pings nearby.
Sure. So Amsen, go ahead and give me an investigation check. Calvin and Ball, either y'all can both give athletics, or one of y'all can roll advantage.
I'm helping Amsen, by the way.
Okay, advantage on Amsen.
I can give you advantage, and then I think you still get bless. I don't know if that applies for...
Not for ability checks.
All right, well, anyway, I'll give you advantage.
Okay. I'll roll.
18 investigation.
26.
Okay. So Amsen, looking around, you don't see any mechanism, and you give it a thorough look. You see no sort of button. You push on some of the areas of the wall where it looks like there might be some sort of depression system. There's no sort of strings. It looks like this is permanently or been purposely tried to be sealed off. There's no mechanism of opening it besides breaking down the wall. As you're giving this a look over, you hear the scraping behind you as Ball on one side is sort of rocking it back and forth with Calvin, who's shoved their shoulder into the rock and slowly begins to roll this massive rock just a few feet, revealing some sort of hallway on the other side.
I'm basically going to turn to Vesper and say, I think the only way through it is to break it down. If you have any healing left, you might want to do it within the next couple of seconds.
Yeah, I have 1 spell.
Are we in any shape to keep moving forward? Calvin, how are you doing?
I'm fine if we want to keep going.
Well, I think just I'm going to interject with Ball in this giant ball of fire is just kind of angrily pursuing through that tunnel. So as soon as he sees the opening,
Calvin is definitely keeping up with that.
Okay, so if he's going forward, I'm following.
I'm going to keep myself in.
So the frontline boys are moving through the hallway with Ellory just behind. Ezekiel, are you going with either one? Or are you staying going? What are you doing?
If they're moving up, I'm just going to howl at the ones in the south and head that way too, yeah.
Okay, so you follow behind. I'll say Melly sticks with Ellory for this. Y'all two at the south, y'all see half your party charge off a howling direwolf to get your attention. Do you continue to work on this door?
No, I'm going to patch myself up as quickly as I can.
Okay.
And set off after them.
Okay. All right. So a couple more rounds down. So you guys, and you can feel free to move yourself around the bin. You guys move up north. The hallway turns again, and begins to form a smooth half circle. Coming around the other side, and I'll go ahead and go a bunch up, I'll move you. Or you can just move through yourself. As you come around the other side, you see another curtain. This one not as thick. It's tattered. You can kind of see beyond it. Beyond, you see a long room, maybe 60, 70, 80 feet long. You can see 3 of those stone altar casts on each side. So there's 6 total, and then you see a stairs leading up to where there is 2 figures. You see 2 figures standing at the top of these stairs. Standing over something, as you see a circle of purplish light is radiating off of it. Ball and Calvin rush through as you see them both lay down on it, crossing their hands over their chests as if they're going to sleep, and they disappear, leaving this radiating circle of purplish blue light. You can see orange flakes of embers floating off from it as the circle continues to exist. Just beyond this magical circle, you see another slightly larger altar casket of some sort.
I think Ball's going to cast Divine Sense again when he's on the circle, so Ball will run up onto the circle, cast Divine Sense.
Okay. Approaching it, you don't sense any undead, celestial, or fiends. There is something strange about it. You see dark, purplish black bladed grass, twisting roots that seem to writhe, thorny, beneath the ground.
And sorry, you said there was an altar, or did you say coffin? You said altar, right?
Looks like both.
How long has it been since, I guess, is it still within that minute? I guess, how much time has passed?
Since.
Essentially, is Ball still a giant ball of flame, or it lasts a minute otherwise?
It's starting to die out. It'll probably die out in the next 6 to 12 seconds.
So I think as Ball's kind of, maybe with these flames fading, is starting to kind of more deliberately try to inspect this coffin rather than in a fit of rage.
Okay. How are you inspecting it?
I don't know. What does it look like?
You see maybe a 7-foot long sandstone rectangle, essentially. It's raised up about 4 feet. There are swirling, intricate lines riding all over it. Centrally, you see a large glyph upon it, inscribed, and smaller glyphs along the edges.
I think Ball's going to just be tracing the glyph with his hand and kind of trying to make sense of that. And I assume that might take him a bit of time.
Okay. So you begin to do so. The rest of you, what are you guys doing? You see this circle into some other dark place, and this altar and a few other caskets.
I'm checking out the circle.
Yeah, me too.
Is there some way that we can close this or block it off so they can't come back through?
Calvin put his hand into the area, is it physical? You said, what is it?
So there's a circle of arcane glyphs that are glowing with purplish energy, radiating off this faint black light. Centered within, it's this dark purplish grass and dark roots of trees. As if you're looking
he's gonna reach
into
out to the roots and trees.
Okay. You feel suddenly cool, your hand cold as you reach in. Touching the roots, you see them begin to slowly curve and wrap around your hand, trying to grasp at it.
Oh, I'll pull away. No, sir.
You pull it away and it kind of falls back down loose.
What are the glyphs made out of? Are they carved or are they just written?
They look liquid.
Gross.
You see one of them fades away. The image shifts. Another one fades away as the image is beginning to become more blurry, shifting as these glyphs slowly run out of energy.
So we just want to let it close.
I thought the whole point was to follow and take care of this.
I think this is too much for us right now.
Let's let it close, and maybe we can find a way to block it after it closes.
4 remain. 3. 2
Ezekiel
remain.
is not happy.
1 remain.
Calvin just starts petting Ezekiel like, it's okay, boy. We'll get you some water soon.
The last one fades out as you see the image shift, revealing just the sandstone floor, uniform with the rest of this interior. You can still see the glyphs loosely of some sort of dark liquid, though they no longer glow with any sort of energy.
Are the plants still there?
The plants are gone. Yeah.
Okay.
You were seeing something that wasn't there.
Can I touch the liquid and see what it is?
It's thick, coagulated. You've seen this before. It's blood. Ball, give me an investigation check.
That's a 13.
Okay. So, tracing these glyphs, do you trace the small ones and then the big one as well?
Yeah, I think I'll start with the big one, and then the small ones.
So, reaching out your hand, beginning to trace it, you see there's a vibration as it red lightning shatters all around you. That is 20-foot radius. So, Ball was there, Vesper and Ellory were by the circle. Calvin was as well. It would have hit Calvin too. How close were Amsen and Ezekiel?
I would have been probably not down the stairs, but if I kept moving, I would have been over here looking, so, if I'm honest.
You might have been just out of it. So I'll say everyone besides Amsen, Nelly, and Ezekiel make a dexterity saving throw. This is red lightning burst out from this glyph.
Would they be able to get the +3?
Yes, everyone would be close enough. So you take 7 points of lightning damage. That's
15
it's
for
going to be
me.
a fail no matter what.
So 15 points of lightning damage for Ball.
The
and
natural 20.
7 for you. And then Ellory, you take 15.
Can I use my reaction?
Sure.
Okay, I just take no damage.
Putting the
It's
shield
a dex save, right?
Yeah, putting the shield up, the lightning slams into it. Your arm kind of clenches up with the shock, but you shrug it off. A few moments go by. No more lightning, no more voices, no more stomping. It seems like this place is settled.
Why would you touch that?
I
Ow.
didn't know what it was. I'm sorry.
I just swear in Orcish a bit.
Are there more of those glyphs on the other ones?
The other ones have symbols, but not glyphs like this one did.
Okay.
This one's a little bit larger than the rest, and currently sealed.
I'm gonna go into my healer's kit and put just a kind of a cloth or something and some water. My water's gonna start cleaning the blood off the floor.
Okay. Yeah, you do so.
Can
What
we,
else are you doing?
can we break these stones that the glyphs are written on?
The glyphs are just little liquid blood,
Oh,
so
they're
as
just
Vesper
liquid?
wipes them
They're not
away,
carved,
they disappear. Yeah. The glyphs on the altar are carved,
Okay.
though the energy is faded.
Amsen, familiar with altars and ruins, is going to inspect for any hidden compartments like there was in the last one.
Sure. Give me an investigation check. The rest of you?
Calvin is just resting. Like, he's gonna plop up against the thing. He's a little tired.
Yeah, I think Paul will do the same. Paul looks a little rough.
Yeah. Leaned against the wall, breathing in heavy.
Zeke does not want to drop his animal shape, so he's just sitting.
Okay.
If that's the case, then Calvin will still be while he's resting against the wall.
All right. And Amsen, as you go up to inspect it?
It's a 17 investigation.
Okay. So looking around, you don't see any hidden compartments per se, any sort of traps. You don't see any sort of secret buttons or levers, nothing. You do see this altar seems to be some sort of tomb. The top slab of stone is heavy and has been sealed with some sort of wax of some sort to keep it sealed from even air from getting in. You don't, checking for the glyphs, you don't see any others that weren't already triggered.
Okay. Well, Amsen is going to say, I think this is a tomb. If we want to do some tomb raiding, we can certainly do that. So he's going to...
If I go up to it, can I see the wax sealing it?
I don't have
Yeah.
that, so.
If Amsen, points it out, you see him investigating, you can see wax seal.
Let's be careful with this. Last 2 times that I tried to open something sealed with wax, I ended up poisoned.
Right. Do you have anything for that?
Yes, all of the paladins.
Cool.
I need to burn it away. It's just wax, right? You can melt it with fire.
I'm more concerned with what might be on the inside. That might leak out as soon as the wax is broken.
Amsen will take one of the... no, I have 2 daggers, so he'll take out one of the daggers and just not quite start going through the wax, but he'll just prepare for that. Ready whenever you are.
Okay, so you weaken the wax with a dagger of some sort.
Yeah, just kind of cutting in and pressing it through the gap as far as it can go, and then just starting to wiggle it back and forth, kind of sawing along the edge.
So wiggling it back and forth, you pierce through the entirety of it, and you hear a coming from it.
I'm going to grab Ellory and then start running back.
No, I was already backing up.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm just leaving.
So move back, and you hear this hiss of pressure as you smell something horrid in the air. It kind of pools near the altar. A few minutes go by before it begins to fade.
Yeah.
You smell something between rotten and sulfur.
Excellent. I guess keep some flames away from this place for the time being, and I'll go back in, kind of use my clothing over to cover up my mouth and my nose a little bit, and then just start cutting away at the wax a little more.
Sure. So you're able to, over the next couple of minutes, tear away this wax. Whatever air was inside doesn't smell good, but it doesn't seem to be affecting you, besides making you feel a little nauseous. But you eventually are able to get most or all of the wax cleared away.
All right. Anybody like to open this?
Not really, but I'll be on standby. In case.
I'd like to take a look now that the seal is broken and see if I see any signs of any kind of physical trap.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
I'm so good at these. No.
You don't see anything. No. It was sealed with wax. You don't notice anything.
I guess I'll try to open it. And kind of push the lid off.
I will help him out with that, even though I'm still pretty weak.
I'm going to stand 30 feet back, but close enough that I can help if something goes
wrong.
awry.
Giving a push, this is a very heavy slab of solid rock that's probably 6 inches thick. Give me an athletics check.
Okay. So I get to add Jack of all trades, and then Ellory's helping, so advantage. I don't have to roll advantage, because I rolled a gear on my steampunk die, which is a natural 20.
Okay. So it's less of Amsen being muscle-bound like Calvin or Ball might do it, as more of getting the correct leverage and tilting it at the right angle to once you shift and get it started, you get it moving, and then you let gravity take care of it, pushing up, allowing it to shift and slamming behind it on the other side. Inside, you see a corpse. You see skeletal form. There's some sort of ornate clothes over it, but they've long since rotten away. You see just the tattered remains. You see a very intact hood over the skull. You see a circlet and various jewelry on its fingers and around its head. You see a few gemstones scattered around the body. And you see a long sword, an estoc, black iron, that is driven into the stomach, up the rib cage of this body. So you also see a bottle of liquid with a squeezy bulb that can be used to spray some sort of liquid. You see a few scrolls, and you see at its feet a very large book.
All right. Just to be thorough, again, I'm just going to look for any, arcane glyphs around the inside or any sort of thing that might be underneath the body or any of the objects that are inside that might be dangerous.
Okay. Give me another investigation check.
And I'm helping with this.
I'm not, but I'm coming up to the side of the casket now.
That is a 22.
Yeah, you don't see any sort of traps or anything.
I think it is clear. Hopefully none of this is cursed, and I'll start off with the book, then grab that and start taking it out.
Okay. So looking at it, opening it, you see a collection of instructions written in a language you don't quite understand, schematics. You see depictions of a skeletal body. You see glyphs and other instructions about some sort of skeleton. It's unclear exactly what it does, but some sort of instruction manual, as well as spell scrolls embedded in the book to be torn out and used in whatever ritualistic instruction manual this thing describes.
This looks interesting. Vespa, this has pictures of skeletons in it. I don't know what
it looks fucking
says
creepy.
Let me take a peek. I'll flip through and see if I can discern what it is. Is it just
You see, it looks like some sort of instruction manual for creating a skeleton.
Oh. This is for... I think this is for necromancy.
Well,
Lovely.
Hopefully that's not cursed, because I just gave it to you.
Oh, great.
It probably is.
Gonna hand that back to you.
I'll just start taking everything out and
I'm
placing
gonna grab
it.
the bottle.
I'm focusing
Kind of in the
specifically
middle of
on
everything.
the gems and jewelry.
Okay.
I got that little squeezy bottle.
Sure. You guys
Is it full of anything?
liquid, like silvery magenta liquid of some sort. You pull out the things, the sword, this sort of veil hood, the vial of spray liquid, the spell scroll, the book, as well as the gems. You find, I'm going to type it out, a number of gems as well as a few gold pieces. The gold they're the size of gold pieces, but they're melted into balls, spheres.
While they're digging through that, can I attempt to push the lid off of one of the other caskets in the room off?
Sure. After a minute or two, you're able to push it off. You see another body, a similar hood. You see a few of these golden spheres tossed around it. A simple necklace. Doesn't look near as important as the person up top. You see a similar visage.
Briefly consider chewing on a femur, decide it's not the right crowd, and go lay down.
All right, so you guys pull out some things.
Do we want to take some time to identify these here, or wait till later?
I mean...
Well, if we're going to rest here and kind of look at the paladin posse, I can take some time to start identifying things. Well, between Melly and I, we should be able to identify most of it within an hour or so.
Might be a good idea. Just make it quick and then we'll head up.
So you guys taking a short rest? Okay. Besides those who are identifying?
Yeah, I'll drop form to do that if we're going to take a short rest.
Who needs a healer's kit?
Maybe me.
Okay.
I'm okay if somebody else needs it more.
Ball's pretty low.
I can do it
Super
to
bloody.
6. So, okay, so Ellory, Calvin, Ball.
Keep in mind, you would have to use it after the rest, technically,
This-
on a couple of them.
Not the healer feat, but my medic feat.
Ah, that one.
I should. I'm all of the things. Do you need it, Ezekiel?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so just 3, and myself, so 4. Okay. First one. So, Ellory, you can take yours.
And what exactly does that do?
Gives you a full hit die. That one's a failure, but I'll take it for myself. That one is a success. So, Calvin, you're good. And that one's a success, so Ball, you're good. So you can all take a full hit die worth of healing.
Is it just one full hit die, or?
One of your hit die will be full.
Alright, cool, thanks.
Quick question. Maybe after I'm done identifying, will I have enough time to give a bit of a song of rest for those who are taking a short rest?
I'll say you can. If you stretch out your rest, it'll probably go over the hour, but you can do that.
Okay, so that'll be an extra 4 hit points for everybody who's taking a short rest.
Okay, I'm good then.
Yeah, I'm all back.
Lightning fucking hurts.
Yeah, that one didn't look nice. Calvin, are you okay?
I mean, yeah. I'm a little singed, but I'm alright.
Well, are you doing right?
Looks good as new. All nods at you.
So what the hell was that?
Klouse, did Ball feel like any connection the same way that he felt towards Daphne and kind of knew where Daphne was?
Not for these two.
I don't think that was Daphne, either of them.
Yeah, well, I don't know what they are, but they looked suspiciously similar to the creature that attacked me in Severwind before I met y'all. Now that one was a fiend, these were fae, so I don't know if they're similar, but they certainly looked it.
They could have been shape changes, for all we know.
True.
The one above on the beach certainly seemed like one.
Well, they're gone for now. Hopefully. Guess we won't know if anything's changed until we get back to Hamel.
I don't know if it's safe to rest here.
Oh, I don't want to sleep in this place.
Definitely not. I want to head back to the beach anyway, before we move on from here. There was that tent that we never looked into.
And possibly another bloom heart to extract?
That's true.
One more search around, see if there's anything out of place, and then head back. I assume we found everything, but Zeke's looking around for any, bits of paper or anything that may give some sense of what they were doing here.
Okay. Looking around, you open up some of the other coffins, seeing similar dead bodies, a few coins here, a few gems there. You don't see any pieces of paper, though. There are the two other doorways that were completely sealed, but other than that, you turn over everything and don't seem to find anything. Looking around, I'll say this place doesn't seem incredibly lived in. It seems like it is almost like a camping outpost site and not something that someone stays in continuously.
All right.
So you guys take your rest as Melly and Amsen both begin to tell you what these things are. I'm beginning to update your sheet, and you can see them. The first of which is the blade. You see a old iron blade and S-stock sword with a simple worn leather handle and a straight, surprisingly sharp edge. This is the S-stock of rigor mortis. If the S-stock is stowed completely submerged in blood for an hour, the blade will suck up the blood, turning a dark crimson on its sharp edges. The S-stock will then act as a magic weapon, +1 bonus, until the next dawn. If the blade is entombed in a corpse killed for 8 hours, the blade can wither the corpse to just a skeleton, storing 2d8 necrotic damage, in addition to acting as a +1 magic weapon until the next dawn, or until the stored energy is removed. The stored energy is released upon a hit if you so choose, if you're attuned to the blade. Because the sword feeds off of the blood or the corpse, it can't use the same pool of blood or corpse twice. That is the S-stock attunement required longsword.
So I will recite that and give a little bit of an asterisk. Definitely not cursed.
I
don't like it.
Amsen will smile. Do with it what you will, and place it down.
I say either leave it or get rid of it somehow. This thing is not a friendly sounding weapon, for lack of a better word.
You don't want your sword to bathe in the blood of your enemies for an hour, and then use said sword to destroy more enemies.
Fuck that.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Why don't we take it with us? I've been wanting to try something on the rapier too. Give me tomorrow morning, I can probably do it to both swords.
Sure.
And was there anything interesting about the hood?
Amsen, I whispered those things so you can translate that to them.
Oh boy, let me read this. I'll be right back.
Pulls a Melly. Just drink it.
Right?
Ooh, okay. So, after identifying the veil, Amsen will say that if you use this veil, you will be able to see in the dark up to 60 feet, And while you are wearing the veil, you cannot be surprised whether the veil is activated or not, as long as it is worn.
I look around at those who can't see in the dark at all. So who wants this?
I think Ball would look fetching in the veil, but I kind of want it. She doesn't.
And the veil appearance, it's a thin, hooded veil of black lace interwoven into a strange mesh pattern. When activated, the black lace ignites in prismatic light, the center black light radiating prismatic kaleidoscope colors towards the edges in a wide shape of a cobra's hood.
It kind of fits your style, Vesper.
It kind of does. Watch this be cursed too, but I'm taking it.
You've been warned.
To be clear, you get the dark vision when it's activated, so your head will be lit. It's not a very bright light, but it is a light. You can turn it off, but then you also lose dark vision, but you don't lose the surprise benefit. And then the last thing, I'll just get it out there, the bulbed bottle is a perfume that can be applied, that can help you influence people and give you advantage on charisma checks for those that are close to you. It has a few uses left.
I'm looking at Vesper as she's reaching her hand towards it and just kind of slightly glaring at her.
I mean, you can have it. I just want the bottle when you're done.
Maybe we should wait. Maybe one of us should hold on to this, and then whoever it seems would make the best use of it at the time can use some.
That's fair.
That sounds like a very good idea.
Again, I just want the bottle, so.
Vesper, you hold on to it since you like the bottle so much.
All right.
So you guys look through the stuff you find. Take another last look around. Do you then head back to the beach?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys head back. Takes a few minutes to get back. You look through the tent. You find a few more things. Nothing crazy, just more wine, a few casks of it. And you do find a letter as well, which I'll give you. And as you read that letter, and begin to gather yourselves to see if you want to rest here for the day. It looks like it's maybe 3 going on 4 in the afternoon. Decide where you want to go from here. And we'll pick up next week.
Going
Zeke
out
already has the 3rd level spells, and he can smite more. As it just explodes, this giant flesh monster. Hey, but you probably, heated up its manacles. That was pretty cool.
He did have disadvantage on those strikes, and he hit like a truck.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Back to the Story. For notifications when an episode goes live, you can find us on Stitcher, Google Play, Player FM, or TuneIn. Download the app and subscribe or favorite us there. If you'd like to contact us, you can tweet us at back2_the_story. If you can't fit it into 280 characters, you can email us at thebonfirefables@gmail.com. And if you'd like further information about the campaign, the player characters, NPCs, or behind-the-scenes sneak peeks, follow us on either Twitter or on our Tumblr website. Lastly, if you'd like to support the show, feel free to buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/backtothestory.